Motivation is low-key a scam. Yeah, I know I'm all about motivational, transformational, all that. Very true. It's important, but it's low-key a scam. Why is it a scam? Because you can't only get motivated. I feel like a lot of people are just like, oh yeah, get motivated. You just need to get motivated. No, motivation doesn't work by itself. It's not like a one-man mission. So here's the problem. Everybody waits to get motivated. Like, okay, I want to make this amount of money or whatever it is. I want to make this, but I'm going to wait until I feel good about myself. Like, nobody actually says that, but like, we do that. You know what I mean? And it's hard not to, because that's kind of what our culture has trained us to do. Like, okay, you do this when you feel like you have the highest opportunity of doing it. Motivation is an internal state that propels you to make outside action. Great. It propels you to do the outside action. Propels you. Meaning that it makes you want to do it, but it doesn't actually mean that you're doing it. Motivation is the feeling of doing it, the thought of doing it, thinking towards a goal, wanting to get there, but it's not necessarily the action itself. You can be motivated to do an action, but the action itself is not motivation. The second reason why it's a flippin' scam is because it fades so quickly. Literally, motivation lasts really only 48 hours. The highest achieved amount of measured motivation is 72 hours. That's 3 days. Like, that's cool and all. You're probably like, okay, that's enough time. But like certain goals that you're trying to do, that's not going to last. You got to like stick with it. Got my shirt all coming down. Well, I'm just going to do this because the way the microphone is going down, that's not going to work for me. But anyway, also hype does not build habits. Like, I can get hype all day. I can get hype all day and be like, yeah, I'm about to get into it. I'm about to lock in. But it's always about to. Because then when I actually get locked in and I was just working off of motivation, then it fades so quickly. Like, for me, in my personal experience, whenever I get motivated, I can tell you the difference. Whenever I get motivated, I'm like, okay, I can't wait to do this. I can't wait to do that. But when I'm disciplined, I actually get it done. Motivation is just a step before discipline. So I had to ditch the hype for the habit. The first time I ever realized, like, maybe motivation is not enough was whenever I had a project. It's a self project, right? I was like, ooh, I want to get my social media up and I want to do all this. I was super motivated. I was like, oh yeah, I can't wait to like talk to people and blah, blah, blah. Honestly, I was doing it because I have social anxiety, but I was just saying, you know what, I'm going to be excited because I feel like I could really say something that could, resonate with somebody, which that did happen, but it wasn't the motivation that got me going. I had a 30-day challenge. The first time I did it, when I was only motivated to do it, babe, that lasts 5 days. Yeah. But whenever I was actually locked in and was disciplined about it, I made it through the whole 30 days and I was even able to do it again. Now, I've fallen. I'm not saying just because you feel discipline at some point that you won't revert back to motivation, because motivation is just more immediately gratifying. But whenever we realize we don't always need the immediate gratification, we need long-term discipline to get through our goals, then you'll realize the importance of it. But it's not just you, and it's not just me. The reason why this happens is the brain releases the same dopamine spike whenever you plan a goal as whenever you achieve it. So when I think of a goal and I'm planning it, same dopamine spike as when I'm over here actually doing it. So one reason why we stop early is because we feel like we already did it because we got that dopamine spike. So sometimes we might have to actually trick ourselves. We might have to scam ourselves. Here's a solution. Build a system, okay? So my thing is, I like to see results ASAP. If I don't see a result ASAP, I know that's not the perfect way to go about things. But if I don't see a result relatively soon after what I did, then I'm start looking like, we need to fix that now, okay? So what I do is if I'm planning something just like this right now, I got excited about planning my new content plan. You guys will see it. But just like getting loose with it, just getting more loose, because whenever I just motivated, I just get motivated for the result and not actually the process. Don't nobody want to do that process. Nobody. Okay. So building a system will actually make you excited for the process and the result. And whenever you're excited for the process and the result, you put the same effort into the process as the amount of excitement that you have for the result. Next is tracking habits. Sometimes it's easy to get motivated when you haven't done anything yet because you're like, oh, I'm about to do this, this, and this. But whenever you start doing it and then you lose track of what you've done, then you can get discouraged because you don't even remember what you've done. I know that for a fact because every now and again I start thinking like, oh, maybe maybe I'm not all that great. I need to stop doing that. Obviously, I'm not saying to like be cocky or anything, but when you write stuff down and you're able to refer to it, or you have somebody that like knows how to keep receipts, like your friends, your circle and stuff like that, they're like, hey, you know, you did do this and you did do this. Then you will remember like, you know what? Okay, I remember what the purpose is because I remember how it felt whenever I achieved that. And now that I know that, I'm going to continue to go for that. The other thing I want to say is show up at 40%. People always say when you're motivated, show up at 100%. Put your 101%, put that 110% in. No, show up when you're at 40%. That's what I mean. Not show up every single time with 40%. I mean consistently show up even when you're at 40% or less. When you look at that little battery on yourself and you say, not giving, I want to continue. Today, I honestly had to lock in because I knew when I got home from doing whatever shenanigans I was doing at work and classes and all that, that I was going to want to do nothing. I knew that was going to happen. I knew it. But then I realized, you know what? I gotta lock in. I gotta lock in for the tribe. I don't know why I said it like that. But seriously, I gotta lock in because there's something that I want to say. And if I want to say it, I gotta show up when I'm at 40%. So sometimes even when you show up at 40%, you end up at that 100% because that is the motivation. The discipline part is me continuing to show up. I'm feeling this topic. I'm gonna hop on. I'm gonna continue to do it. That is the motivation part. So they work together. So I won't say motivation is a scam, but motivation by itself is not your friend. So essentially what I'm saying is if you're just motivated, good luck, good flipping luck. But if you're disciplined and it's backed by motivation, you're going to be the little steam engine that can. I heard somebody describing themselves as motivational. But then when I talked to them, they said, I'm going to see if I can't. Let me see if I can't do this. No judgment at all now, but I was judging then. And the reason why, hold on, don't get mad at me. The reason why I was judging is because if you're motivational, right, I want you to think about the language that you use. Motivation and discipline do have similar language. And what I mean by that is positive, okay? If you're saying if you can't do it, that means you're saying that you probably won't do it. And the reason why I say that is can't has a negative connotation. If I'm going to see if I can't do something, I'm going to see the oppositions, the reasons why I can't do something whenever I hear that. Maybe that's not what it means, but that's what your brain hears. Versus, I'm going to see if I can do this. If you want it enough, you will do it. Just like, low-key, I don't want to record, but I want this. So I got to show up at that 40%. Motivation is I can do it. Discipline is I will. So you need both. Whenever you say, hey, I can do this, you need to have the I will do this. I am doing this. But remember that more than motivation, discipline will get you where you need to be. Discipline doesn't look the same for everyone either. So maybe I can get disciplined in a way where it's like, I got to lock in. I got to, close my shutters. Because sometimes I work in the dark and that's how I get disciplined. Now, that's not everybody's thing. You might get disciplined by like, okay, hey, I need to leave the house and actually go to a coffee shop and finish the stuff that I want to get done. Because then I can separate it from my house. I can separate it from my chill place and do it somewhere else. And then I lock in there. And then whenever I'm done, then I know I can relax now. So I want to know, what is something that you want to get disciplined for? I personally want to get disciplined so I can get my tornado kick down. I'm going to get that tornado kick. I might even have to practice in one of these videos because I want to get it down. But tell me in the comments what you're going to use discipline to accomplish. I know you can do it. But if nobody's told you, I believe in you.